From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for July 29th, 2016, our last trading day of the month of July. In a moment, we'll be taking a look at the EURUSD, the euro versus the US dollar for today's trade analysis, but first I want to recap the trade suggestion made from yesterday, which was buying on the USD CAD. We were looking at the market dipping down into support. It might be even more important for us to take this chart all the way back out to the daily time frame and note the fact that we have been in a rising trend along the blue trend line. So the market's been going up. Then we zoom in a little bit and we take a look at these four circles that you see here on the chart. Starting with the blue one, resistance. The first red one, resistance. Second red one, resistance. Third red one, resistance. We've seen a lot of resistance into that yellow shaded area. Then the market pushed through it and dipped back down to it as support. And that's 31.60 down to 1.3125 in that yellow shaded area. So it was our expectation yesterday that as long as it sat on top of that yellow zone, we'd be looking for support and the continuation higher. We're also watching falling oil prices, which gives this currency pair a little bit of a rise as well. We do have some news today that, of course, will affect this currency pair. We have GDP data out of Canada and the U.S., so we'll watch that news, see how that affects this currency pair. But I still think as long as it stays within or above this yellow shaded area, the decision should be to go long in the direction of the trend on top of that support. And only if the news causes the market to push down through that yellow zone, 31.25, do we look for it to begin falling back down again. So critical decision point today. Watch the news. If it comes out either negative for Canada or very positive for U.S., we'll look for this to take a turn back higher again on this currency pair. Next, moving over to the EURUSD, euro versus the US dollar. We've been studying this currency pair in two different lights, two different trends, truthfully. We zoom it out a little bit here on the daily time frame, and you can see the red trend line. You can see a long-term uptrend. It was going up from back in November or late last year, all the way through April and May of this year, capping out at the resistance highs. That's the first trend. And then the second trend we're looking at is the green trend line, the falling trend that we've seen over the past few weeks. On the Brexit news, a significant dip lower, but interesting that we've been on a predominant falling trend for the past several weeks, going back to April and May of this year when it capped out at the highest high on the chart. Zooming it in here on the daily time frame, we've been studying this black box here and somewhat of a little bit of a range that has developed in there. We saw earlier this week the market attempt to push underneath it. We actually sold underneath it, saw some profit. The market turned back higher, took us out at break even, now has continued to push into the next resistance level, the green shaded area. We can see historically on the left hand side of the chart over here where this blue box is, kind of hard to see that little blue box there. But over here on the left-hand side, you can see it. And let me see if I can move it around a little bit so you can note where I'm looking at. Back here on the left-hand side, you see at the bottom of that little blue box, you can see some support at the green shaded area. And then not too distant into the future, we see resistance here and resistance here. And now we're right there into that same area. 111.05, 111.30 is our resistance. Take a look at what happened yesterday. The market found resistance, went all the way back down into the 110.70, 60 level, the yellow shaded area. So that's what we're looking at today. We're back into that green shaded area. Of course, as mentioned, we do have some GDP data out of the U.S. today that may affect this currency pair. Of course, if it's positive, the advanced GDP, if it's positive for the U.S., we might look for this to take a little bit of a turn lower. If it happens to come out negative for the U.S. data, we could be looking for this to take a little bit of a turn through the green shaded area. Remember, all we're trying to do as traders is make low risk and high reward trading decisions. There's never going to be a no risk trading scenario. 4 hour time frame, you can see there's yesterday's move hitting the green zone back to the yellow zone. Here we are again, once again, back into the green shaded area. It's my expectation as long as it stays within this green zone or under it, we're looking for the market to take a turn back down towards the yellow shaded area. And of course, it's going to take some positive GDP news to send it back down into that area. The risk and there's risk in every scenario, is that it breaks above the green shaded area. Using appropriate risk strategies should limit your potential loss if the market does continue to turn higher on any negative GDP numbers out of the U.S. So if you're in it, if you're looking to go short here on the euro dollar, which I am, right around the 111.10 level, I'm already short, looking for it to go back down to the yellow zone. If it pushes through 111.30, we don't want to stay in it too long. So any negative news, push through 111.30, look to get out of it. 35, 45 pip stop loss shouldn't be too difficult to see here on the euro dollar. A break back above the green zone changes the pattern of the trend back to the upside for the euro dollar. So I'm in it short, looking for it to go back down, watching the news carefully to see how the market reacts to that news today.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.